Picture this, a colossal bird of steel and dreams, stretching 262 feet from nose to tail, capable of ferrying 853 passengers across oceans in opulent comfort. It's the Airbus A380, the Superjumbo that promised to redefine air travel. Launched with fanfare in the early 2000s, it became a symbol of aviation's boldest ambitions. But just 14 years after its maiden flight, Airbus pulled the plug, shuttering production in 2021 after building only 251 airframes. Billions lost, dreams grounded. Welcome to Sky Commander, where we chronicle the highs and crashes of flight history. Today, the rise and fall of the Airbus A380. From glory to graveyard. We'll unpack the tech triumphs, market misfires, and lessons that still echo in boardrooms from Toulouse to Seattle. If you're hooked on aviation epics, smash like and subscribe. Let's soar into the story. Our tale begins in the late 1990s, amid a fierce transatlantic rivalry. Boeing ruled the roost with its 747 jumbo jet, the queen of the skies since 1970, hauling millions across continents and even serving as Air Force One. But Airbus, Europe's upstart consortium, born in 1972, challenged American dominance, smelled opportunity. Airlines like Emirates and Singapore were booming, craved bigger planes to handle surging demand on trunk routes. Bigger meant economies of scale, more passengers per takeoff slot, lower costs per seat mile. In 1994, Airbus quietly sketched the very large aircraft concept, dubbing it the A3XX. Engineers dreamed big, literally envisioning a double-decker that could eclipse the 747's 416-seat max. Fast forward to June 1998. Whispers turned to roars when Airbus greenlit the project, betting €8.8 billion, about $9.6 billion today, on a double-decker behemoth. By December 2000, it was official. The Airbus A380, named for its cavernous cross-section, twice that of a 747, with room for gyms, shops, or even casinos in the sky. Development was a Herculean feat, spanning 7 years and testing the limits of global collaboration. Over 16,000 workers across 4 continents hammered away. Sourcing wings from the UK, where Broughton factory built the massive 148-foot spans. Fuselage sections from Germany, tail from Spain, and final assembly in Toulouse, France. Logistical nightmares ensued. Wings were barged across the English Channel, fuselages trucked through tiny villages on custom routes. The A380's innovations dazzled, a fly-by-wire system smoother than a silk scarf, composite materials, slashing weight by 20% and boosting durability, and engines from Rolls-Royce Trent 900 or Engine Alliance GP7200 that guzzled 20% less fuel per seat than the 747. These power plants, each producing 70,000 to 84,000 pounds of thrust, were engineered for whispered quiet operation, meeting stringent noise regs at busy hubs like Heathrow. Capacity, up to 853, in all-economy crush, but most configs seated 500 to 600 with lavish suites, bars, and showers on upper decks. Think flying 5-star hotels. Challenges mounted. Integrating 530 kilometers of wiring proved a headache, delaying prototypes. But perseverance paid off. First flight, April 27, 2005, from the Beast, weighing 1.2 million pounds at max takeoff, lumbered down the runway, rotated gracefully, and climbed into history flawless, as if mocking skeptics who dubbed it a white elephant. Entry into service came swiftly, amid global hype. Singapore Airlines, the launch customer, took delivery on October 15, 2007. After rigorous testing that included evacuating 853 dummies in 78 seconds, beating safety standards, their first commercial flight, Singapore to Sydney, with passengers bidding thousands on eBay for charity seats. Suites boasted lie-flat beds, onboard lounges with champagne, toast. Sit was flying in first class for the masses. Emirates followed in August 2008, snapping up over 90 frames to feed its Dubai megahub, turning the A380 into a Middle Eastern icon. By 2010, Qantas, Lufthansa, Air France, and Korean Air joined the club, deploying them on premium routes like Sydney-LA or Frankfurt-NYC. Sales peaked. Airbus booked 251 firm orders, with Emirates alone accounting for 123, nearly half the total. Production ramped 230 per year in 2012 and 2014, churning out cash cows on hub-to-hub routes where slot constraints favored big birds. Fuel efficiency shone. The A380 sipped 3 liters per 100 kilometers per passenger, better than many twins, thanks to its high bypass engines and aerodynamic tweaks, and the wow factor. Passengers raved. It was the Concorde of the economy class, turning 14-hour hauls into airborne resorts with quieter cabins, 10 decibels, less noise than rivals, and smoother rides from its massive wing flex. In its heyday, the A380 symbolized aviation's golden age. Bigger is better. Luxury democratized. Globals connected like never before. It even set records like Qantas' longest non-stop, 9,500 miles from Dallas to Sydney. But cracks appeared early, foreshadowing the downfall. Delays plagued the program from the start. Complex wiring snarls, involving incompatible software between French and German teams, pushed certification from 2005 to late 2006, costing Airbus €6 billion in penalties, lost sales, and reputational hits. Airlines grumbled, some canceling orders amid frustration. Then, the market shifted dramatically. Post-9/11's security and economic jitters slowed growth. But more crucially, airlines pivoted to point-to-point networks over massive hubs. Why funnel everyone through Dubai when you could fly direct from secondary cities? Fuel prices spiked to $140 a barrel in 2008, making four-engine guzzlers like the A380 thirst traps compared to efficient twins. Enter Boeing's counterpunch. The 787 Dreamliner, launched in 2004 and entering service in 2011, a twin-engine marvel with 20% better efficiency. All-composite fuselage for lighter weight, an 8,000-mile range for direct flights like Boston to Tokyo. Why send a single 500-seater when two 250-seaters could link cities cheaper and more frequently? Orders for the A380 dried up fast. By 2014, Airbus slashed production to 10 per year, then 6, as carriers like Virgin Atlantic and Skymark bailed. Even Emirates, the program's lifeline, hedged bets with orders for A350 South and Boeing 777X's twins that promised similar capacity with half the engines. The fall accelerated in the 2010s, turning triumph to tragedy. The global financial recession of 2008 to 2009 bit hard, grounding expansion plans and favoring low-cost carriers like Ryanair and Southwest, who thrived on smaller. Why did it crumble so spectacularly? Economics first. Operating costs proved prohibitive. Twins like the Boeing 777-9 or Airbus A350-1000 fly similar 7,000 to 8,000 mile ranges with half the engines, slashing maintenance bills by 30% and fuel burn per seat by 15 to 20%. Hubs consolidated around a few giants. Dubai, Singapore, Doha thrived, but most global routes favored flexibility over raw capacity, especially as Ethiopia's rules allowed twins over oceans safely. Environmentally, for engines meant higher CO2 emissions per passenger. Regulators and eco-conscious travelers eyed greener skies, pushing sustainable aviation fuels that favored efficient designs. And the irony, COVID-19 grounded fleets worldwide in 2020, mothballing A380s en masse, but they rebounded post-pandemic as travel surged. Emirates flew full loads in 2022 to 2023, proving lingering demand on premium routes like Dubai to London. Yet, no revival. Airbus had already repurposed production lines for hot sellers like the A320neo and A350. Unwilling to restart a money pit, lessons from the wreckage abound, revealing ambitions double edge. The A380 pioneered breakthroughs like ultra-quiet cabins 10 decibels less than the 747, easing airport noise curfews, and passenger-centric design with wider aisles and higher ceilings. Influencing today's wide bodies like the 787's humidified air, it forced Boeing to up its game, birthing efficient twins and even the 747-8 as a stopgap. For airlines, it's a stark hub versus point debate. Giants shine for mega-hubs feeding global networks, but lithe jets dominate fragmented markets. The program also highlighted supply chain vulnerabilities. Global sourcing amplified delays and the perils of betting on unchanging trends in a volatile industry. Retired A380s find second lives, some as luxury hotels in Singapore or Stockholm. Others converted to freighters by Hi-Fly or Emirates, hauling cargo amid e-commerce booms. Emirates plans to fly theirs till 2039, squeezing value from the investment. Airbus, wiser now, eyes hydrogen-powered twins and sustainable A350 variants. But the Superjumbo's ghost whispers, innovate boldly, but read the winds of change. Fuel crises, pandemics, and passenger preferences can ground even the mightiest. The A380's saga from stratospheric rise to grounded follies. Aviation's Shakespearean tragedy, hubris, glory, hubris, undone. Yet it flew 1.5 billion passengers safely over 500 million flight hours, a testament to human ingenuity and engineering prowess. Thanks for joining Sky Commander on this epic journey. What's your take? Flawed genius or market misstep? Comment below. If this Superjumbo story ignited your engines, like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more aviation sagas. Clear skies and full throttles.